So it's funny, I was talking to my buddy and I was telling him that, hey man, these countries are becoming something that's not good, and we as a people got to begin to take these countries back. And all of a sudden this lady just comes up and says, take what countries back? You guys are not going to take anything back. You people are just a bunch of fascists, just a bunch of racist people trying to mess with everybody else. And I was like, listen lady, we are going to take our country back. You can call us fascist, racist, or whatever. Just because we're trying to live our lives and have some normality in our lives, it doesn't mean that we're racist or that we have some sort of extreme views. Just because we want our food to be safe, just because we want our education system to be proper, just because we want our real estate to be affordable, doesn't mean that we are fascists. It doesn't mean that we are racist. It doesn't mean that we are prejudiced, negative, or hateful people. And every single day, more and more, I realize who are the real hateful people. And I know it's not that lady, because that lady's been manipulated into thinking that any change that's coming to her society against what the government is imposing on us is some sort of radical action. That's what the propaganda, that's what the media, that's what our governments, our laws, our politicians have been trying to tell us for a long time. That if we try to defend ourselves, that if we try to do something positive for ourselves and our families, that we are radicals, that we are fascists, that we are negative people. And I'm telling you guys, something wrong is happening. And you guys are correct for questioning it, and you guys are correct for saying we have to take our countries back. And that means through politics. It means through making a legal battle to get our nations back. People are talking about, hey, our countries are so far into debt, our dollar is going to be replaced. China and Russia are going to replace our currencies because they're the ones who own all the gold and blah, 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 blah. We owe so much money because of our governments. I'm going to tell you right now, who's the one that made those bad deals? Us or the governments? Us or the aristocrats that are trying to rule us as if they were kings and we were peasants? Well, I'm going to tell you what. This is how it is in the law. This is how it is in any business. Whenever someone borrows an excess amount of money and cannot pay it back, what happens? That person either goes bankrupt or that person goes to jail, they get sued, something happens. But usually what happens is that that person either goes to jail or they go bankrupt. And I'm going to tell you, all the people that screwed up our country, that are causing all these bad laws, causing all this fraud, causing all these negative wars, the people who call themselves elites, how about this? How about we give them to China, we give them to Russia as payment for all the debt that we owe all those countries? Why in the heck is the United States in debt? Why is Canada in debt? When we have so much land and so many resources, why are we in debt? Why? It's a trick. And basically, we're being taught to believe that there's nothing that we can do to fix our situation. Yes, we can. And if anyone's going to pay with their lives, if anyone's going to pay with their freedom and with their rights, it's going to be the people who are making these investments for us and making us pay for it as nations. We do not have to accept all this massive amounts of immigration that are happening because England and the United States and its allies, what are they doing? They're destroying the Middle East. They're going into Latin America, whatever you want to call it. And what they're doing is that they're destroying the business out in Latin America, destroying local Latin American business, making it hard for those people to live and stay in their own borders. That's why we're getting all the immigration. And the politicians are using it as a tactic in order to confuse people, in order to divide people, in order to get people ready for new invasions, new wars, while at the same time fragmenting them and controlling them through these things. That's what LGBT is. LGBT is nothing positive defending homosexual rights. LGBT is clearly taking away people's rights. It's clearly sexual abuse on children, and it has nothing to do with gay people trying to be free. And what our politicians are trying to do, what tyrannical, aristocratic people are trying to do, is that they're trying to say that we have no choice but to follow this. Yes, we have a choice in saying no. And I've already said no. I've said no years ago. Every day that I walk down the street, I talk to people about this. People think that it's only YouTube, it's only Facebook, it's only social media and the news that gets the word across from what's happening in our country. I talk to people every single day. I know people that are just like me that talk to people every single day. The church talks to people every single day. Everyone talks to everyone every single day. Neighbors talk to neighbors. Family talk to family. Brothers talk to brothers. Parents talk to their kids. Their kids talk to parents. And everybody is saying that the current political situation that we are seeing right now, not just in Canada or the United States, but all over the West, we know that it's happening because of tyranny. We know that we don't have to accept LGBT. We don't have to accept genetically modified food. We don't have to accept any of the social engineering. We know that it's more than illegal. We know that it's more than morally wrong. And there's no one that can convince us that these are things that we have to accept unless they are tyrants. And basically I am saying, yes, the politicians that are trying to make us swallow this new world order, these radical invasions, this radical mass amount of immigration, all these stupid laws and all this LGBT, we know that they are radicals, that they are genocidal, and that they are doing more than just hurting people. They are killing people. They are destroying our natural world. They are making it hard for species of animals to live. They are the ones that are behind the global warming. They're carbon taxing us, not because we're going to save the world with that. They can change the way that they pollute the world. They can do it. They can change the way that we use our electricity. We don't need all this immigration in order to make our countries better.